Now, before I get to the whole SmackDown Live review / report, I'm just going to address something here. And this comes from both Raw and SmackDown Live. The one thing that really pisses me off is if you don't end your show with your champions or champions to be, as far as being the main champion in the show. That makes no sense to me. How the fuck are you going to hype up your champion, your WWE champion, and the champion doesn't even close the fucking show? How are you going to hype this new championship, the Universal Championship, and that feud doesn't close the fucking show? All of that is a load of bullshit. So at the beginning of the show, Orton is trying to still sell us the one RKO bit by, okay, signing the contract and saying that the match won't last that long because it only takes one RKO to end it. Keith Slater interrupts, and it's like, okay, he tries to get hired again. Yeah, this comedy angle is still going, but it's getting old now. It's getting really old. Him being the hottest free agent or whatever, recapping what happened on Raw and thinking that he should be hired on SmackDown. And it's like, okay, yeah. And since he's with Randy Orton in the same room, we all know where it's fucking going. We all do. So, yeah. Randy Orton is going to be facing Heath Slater later on in the evening. So, oh well. So, you have Jiz TV, Miz TV, and look, keep Maurice off the mic. Please. She has no business being on there. None. She's none whatsoever. Please, just keep her off the fucking microphone. So, Miz tries to talk, and he tries to do his little intro. Dean Ambrose interrupts. Dean Ambrose tries to talk on the mic, and Dolph Ziggler interrupts. I like the tension there. That builds up. That actually, and speaking of tension and speaking of build up, this is what should have ended the fucking show. This right here, this interview, this segment. Why? Because it took care of a couple of things. It took care of the addressing the fact that we don't think that Ziggler is going to win or think that Ziggler has a chance, addressing Ziggler's past as far as coming so close and then coming so far, being world champion and then being just the way he is now, and to fight and scratch and claw to get where he is to actually get this title shot. This should have ended the show. This segment right here should have ended the show. Especially when it came down to Dolph breaking it down as far as saying, look, gave it the scenario as far as saying, you think you got me beat, you don't have me beat. You think you got me down, you don't have me down. You think you, and then right in the middle of all that, he super kicks Ambrose. Fucking brilliant. Fucking brilliant. That should have closed the fucking show. Period. Period. But then the show continues after that. That's the beginning segment of the fucking show. Close the show with your fucking champions, your world champions, your main champions. Do that. Because that gives the championships and the shows more meaning. And that feud more meaning. Because we actually will give a fuck about it more. If it actually closes your fucking shows. So, during the commercial break, and they showed it that The Miz was talking about Apollo Creed. Oh, God. It's funny how Daniel Bryan even made that mistake of calling him Apollo Creed. So, I guess The Miz has to, work with what Daniel Bryan made the mistake of and called him Apollo Creed. And Apollo Crews comes out. It's like, look. And we all knew where this is going. And The Miz tries to say all this shit on the mic. Yeah, I'm an A-lister. I memorized 15 pages of... Anyway, Paul hits that signature on him tries to let everybody know that he's an established threat for the Intercontinental Championship at Summerslam. Which I just don't think that he is. I don't think that he's a threat. I just don't see it as of right now. Maybe I'll be convinced. It all depends what happens during the fucking match. Because, for one, you still have Maurice that's still going to be there. And number two, The Miz can just leave any time that he wants and get counted out or puss out or do his usual stick in order to keep the Intercontinental Championship. That's just the way that is. So, 12-man tag. Out of all these teams, does anyone think that any of those teams, besides America Alpha, should get a SmackDown Tag Team Championship or Tag Team Championship run? I don't see it. I don't see the Hype Brothers. I don't see the Usos again. The Vaudevillains, the fucking Ascension, they're basically killed off. They're just done. They are. Please. No, none of these teams, besides American Alpha, and that's what they showcased. They showcased it at the end of the fucking match that American Alpha is your top pick, is your top team, are your top dogs. If you're going to have a SmackDown Tag Team Championship, they are the ones that are going to be getting the fucking belts. If they actually have Tag Team Championships. I just don't think that there's no hype enough. There's not enough hype. I mean, there's just no. Anyway, Naomi against Eva Marie. No contest because Eva Marie is stuck in traffic. We all understand what they're doing here. They're trying to delay. They're trying to make it a big deal. It's not a big deal. It's not cool. It's not happening. It's not fun. It's garbage. And now it's funny because after all of this, you know, there's only been one match that's taken place, and it was a tag match that's basically trying to showcase a tag division. And then you have the returning Naomi that basically looks like a whole bunch of glowing, walking glow sticks just trotting to the ring in the black light and all that, and her throwing things out. Okay, and her dancing. All right, cool. We still can't take her seriously. Her time has passed, in my opinion, as far as getting a fucking title to take her seriously with. I just don't see it. Anyway, no contest between Naomi and Eva Marie. So, you have Alberto Del Rio and AJ Styles segment in the back, and AJ Styles walks up to him, hey, you get to beat up John Cena, and it's like, all right. We do know the history that Alberto beat John Cena for the United States Championship. Cleanly, I might add. But since Alberto has a match with John Cena later on in the evening on this show, it was like, all right, this is just basically going to hype up Cena to actually build up his SummerSlam feud with AJ Styles. That's all that was going to be, and more on that later. Kurt Hawkins is coming back. Do we want him to come back? Do we need him to come back? Oh well. So, Randy Orton faces Heath Slater. And Slater wins by DQ. Okay. Because Orton wouldn't stop beating down on Heath Slater. I understand that they're trying to hype up Orton to be the match for this beast, but I'm not convinced. Period. So, even after the disqualification, Orton still attacks. Does things out of the ring. Does things into the ring. Does a couple of Germans to be like, all right, yeah, I can send somebody to Suplex City too. No. And he went to the RKO, and it's like, all right, fine. Then Heath Slater, he gets offered this contract. He calls Brian Mick Foley. He calls Shane Steph. So Shane quietly takes the contract away. So we're going to have this shit continuing even at SummerSlam or possibly at Raw and next week. And it's like, hottest free agent. Damn it. As Randy Orton was leaving the ring, decimating fucking Heath Slater, he crosses Bray Wyatt. Pretty interesting. That could lead to something in the future, probably. Bray doesn't have anything else going for him. Fuck. And Bray has something. He had something promising as far as a world championship run, but injuries and timing and all that. There's so much shit in the way for Bray Wyatt. So, speaking of which, you have Dean Ambrose against Eric Rowan. Basically a warm-up match for SummerSlam. So, Ambrose beats Eric Rowan. And right after that, Bray Wyatt kind of turns his back and looks at the mask and drops the mask and just walks away. And it's like, wow, you know, that's a statement. Fucked up statement, but yeah. Eric Rowan, look, the Wyatt family needs to stay together. And the main reason why is because Bray Wyatt is the only one that can carry himself on his own. Luke Harper can, but he's being booked wrong and he's injured. Eric Rowan cannot. Braun Strowman cannot. So if he leaves behind Eric Rowan, yeah, Eric Rowan's pretty much done at this point. Unless Luke Harper comes back and they form a tag team and decimate the tag team division on SmackDown. That's the only fucking hope that they have. So, anyway. You have Becky and Carmella versus Natalya and Alexa Bliss or whatever. During that fucking match, Eva Marie shows up. This women's division is a joke on SmackDown. There's no women's title. We can't take them seriously. We have all this. Even on Raw, the women's division is a joke now. It's just a damn shame that it's gotten to this point. And I keep reverting to calling them divas again, even though this is supposed to be, it was supposed to be the Divas Revolution, and now it's supposed to be the Women's Revolution. I don't see it, folks. They have to do something really quick for us to take this shit seriously. Oh, yeah. And Becky and Carmella won due to that interference. It wasn't a really interference. You know, you had Naomi come out and chase Eva Marie around the ring, and they get in the ring, and no. But look, no. Eva Marie, it's going to be a 3-on-3 women's match at SummerSlam, and I'm just not looking forward to that either. So, yeah. Baron Corbin attacks Kalisto again. Either progress this or kill it, please. We don't need to see that attacking in the locker room shit every fucking week. Let's get a match going in the ring. Something. Let it mean something. So AJ Styles is going to come out and commentate. Duh. Cena versus Del Rio, which Cena wins. Duh. There wasn't any point for Cena to lose because this is supposed to hype him up to SummerSlam. So, what happens? AJ Styles attacks with the flying forearm after the match. Duh. AJ Styles with a microphone, wasting time, and then tries to attack Cena again. And Cena, rise from your grave. Rise. Just gives him the FU. I don't like calling it that, the AA, the double A. No, double A is reserved for Arn Anderson. Yeah. Gives him the FU, goes out, inside the ring, throws AJ Styles against the steps, and gives him the FU on the fucking announce table to end the show. It's funny how that ending at least qualifies for a good ending, but the ending of the show should be reserved for your main champion, and that's what I have a problem with. Even though certain things were hyped up correctly. Dolph and Ziggler was hyped correctly. AJ Styles and Cena was hyped correctly. But they should have switched places. They should have. Because of the point of who has the fucking title. So, SummerSlam is up next, and I'll have my prediction video up pretty soon. But Raw and SmackDown leading up to SummerSlam, yes, most of it was lackluster. There was some of it that made sense. But some of it is just like, no, we don't care. We don't want to see it. We don't care about Roman and fucking Rusev. And there are certain people that are not even there. There are certain people that are not even a part of this event. You have Sami Zayn that's not a part of SummerSlam. Alberto Del Rio is not a part of SummerSlam. Bray Wyatt's not a part of SummerSlam. What is going on with this new era if you're not going to have certain people that should have fucking matches not at the fucking pay-per-view? That doesn't make any sense to me. So, again, I will have my SummerSlam prediction video up pretty soon. So, drop kicks by Sam, throw motherfuckers over the top rope, both feet hitting the floor. Yes, I'm a wrestling fan. This is the theme. And I'll see you later. Credits.